Hey, how you doing? This is Tony from 6-String Corner, and today we're going to do the iconic riff to Life in the Fast Lane by one of my favorite bands, the Eagles. I'm also going to add on a couple other things that are in this song, but the iconic riff is really what we all want to strive for, so I'm going to spend a lot of time on that, and then show you some of the other parts that happen during the song. And before we continue, I just want to let you know that I have this song as well as a whole bunch of others, Eagles songs, Rush songs, classic rock songs, blues songs, you name it. I have a whole bunch in the 6-String Corner tab library, which is in the link below. Be sure to sign up for it so you have access to it. It's being added on to all the time, all right? So let's get on with the lesson. For Life in the Fast Lane, this is one of my favorite licks to play. I love playing this song. I remember as a kid driving down the highway in the Rebel days, just whenever this song came on, I just wanted to just like blast it down the highway. Probably not recommended, so I wouldn't suggest that to all you young kids out there listening. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over the main lick, and then the lick that kind of gets into the verse, and I'm going to quickly just cover the chords that go through it because it's pretty basic as far as structure. It's really centers around a basic blues type pattern. So I'm going to show you that in a little bit. But let's get on with the main lick. I think the one that's the fun part of the song. So we're playing a lot of this here on the 5th and 7th frets. So I'm not going to say 5th and 7th fret all the time. I'm just going to go 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7 and name the strings. And then you're going to go, then there's a 5, 3 here, and then we're going to have an open E. All right, so we're pretty much staying in this like pentatonic region right here. So we're going to do a hammer on from 5 to 7, and then go right to 7 on the D string, and then back to 7 on the E, and then you're going to go right back to 5 on the D string. So, and then back to 7 on the A, and then 5 on the A, and then you're going to go, you're going to kind of move, you have to move quick here, you're going to go 5 on the low E string, and then 3 on the E string. Alright, and then open E. A little bit of a bend, there's a little bit of bends that happen in this song, so like a little, it just sort of bends a tiny bit here. See, I just bend it, it's just a really quick short bend here. Right there on 5 on the D string. Slight bend here on that 3rd fret, and then you're going to come back to it and you're going to go start again. Alright, we're not, as you notice, we're not putting in that low E, so you're going to do the hammer on. So that starts the same way the first half of this part went. So we're 5 hammers to 7, 7 on the D, 7 on the E, and then 5 on the D string. Alright, and then we don't go to the E, and we just kind of hold that G, give a little bit of a bend, a little bit of just a little bit of pull to it. So alright, and then you just repeat it. That's the main riff. Now the second guitar comes in and plays the exact same thing, except he plays it up an octave higher. So we're going to play that up here on the 12th fret. So it's really the same thing. We're just going to go on from 12 to 14 and then 12 to 10 down here. So again, I'm going to call them out by numbers. So we're going to be on the D string and the G string, which is the 3rd and 4th strings. So the same thing applies here. You're going to play the hammer on. So you're gonna hammer from 12 to 14, 14 on the G, 14 on the D, and then 12 on the G. And then that's 14 to 12 on the D string. And then we're gonna go A, which is the A note right here on the A string, 12, 10, and then 12th fret on the low E string. Alright, so if you know your notes, they're the exact identical notes you were playing on the low side. Alright, and then the second half is the same, flows the same way because you're matching what the low guitar is sounding like. And so that's how that riff will go on the high end. It's the exact same notes, it's just on the 12th fret, 14th fret, and you're just matching what the lower guitar is playing. Now, what happens when the higher guitar comes in, the last time that riff is played, alright, and and then from the G, which is on the 10th fret, then you go to the 12, 13, 14, alright? And then we're going to go down to a low E note, and we're going to go on to the next riff. On the low end, they're going to do the exact same thing. Alright, same thing, we're going from 3, 5, 6, 7 on the G string. You can do it also. You can also go to an open A string, and then 1, 2 here on the A string. Either way would be fine, whichever suits your fancy. It's the same notes. All right, the next section of that is just this little sort of a bridgey section from the classic riff to where the vocals come in on the verse. And this is mostly done here on the D string, which is the 4th string. And that's really all it is. It's just a pull off from 5 to 2. Okay, and then open D, and then there's a little hammer on that goes on to the 2nd fret. Both on the, all that's on the D string. Alright, and that goes on a little bit of solo. I think Joe Walsh does a solo, so there's a lot of quirky stuff that he's doing in that part. So that's the gist of getting into the song. So that's your intro. And this, of course, always sets up the verse, or usually sets up the verse. Just real quick, I'm going to go over the chords with you. Pretty basic. Well, it's basic in style, and there's only really predominantly 3 chords. You're going to play this E and E9. All right, which is got the ring finger here. I got that barred on the 1, 2, 3, 1st and 3rd, 2nd and 3rd strings on the 7th fret. Pointer finger I got here on the 6th fret over in the D string, and I've got my middle finger also back to the 7th fret on the A string. Alright, so there's just a little bit of a funky groove to it. Okay, so that's going on there. Then it goes to an A7. Now you can play this A7 in a couple different places. I play it here, which is kind of like that, that D shape, but it's not the D. Instead of the D, you're going to go up one set of strings and then go way over here. Your pointer and your middle finger are on the 5th fret of the B string and the 5th fret of the D string, and the ring finger takes the 6th fret of the G string. And I'm also going to include the open A string, because this is an A7. And it just sort of rings there. Now you can also play the A7 here. Okay, give me an A7 chord as well if you want to just sit on the lower side. I like staying here since I'm already up in this place. So you just let that ring out, and then back to. Alright, and then you're going to come out to a B7. Just chromatically drop down to the A7. Those are bar chords. If you notice here, it's a 7 bar chord, which looks like the major. Like I said, I just lift my little finger up. But you want to hear all 6 of the strings. And then I drop it down a half step and then come down to the A. Alright, so it's just really a classic blues style format that they're playing here. So, you go along with it as you play the song. That's pretty much what you're going to be playing on the rhythm guitar. And then the solos are flying all over the place in this song along with the vocals. But today, that's for another lesson. Today we're just going to cover just the rhythm so that you can play this song. One last thing is that towards the end of the song, after the little solo sections and stuff, you get this little. Okay, now that part might be hard for some of you, and I know that it can be because you got a double pull off here, right here. So the pointer finger is barred on the first 4 strings on the 9th fret. But what I'm pulling off with is I'm using my ring finger, which is on the 10th fret here on the B string, and then my ring finger Did I say middle finger? Sorry, middle finger on the 10th fret on the B string, and then the ring finger is way up here on the 11th fret on the D string, and the middle one on the G, this note's still heard too. So all three of these notes are heard, and you're gonna pull off. All right, that could be difficult for some of you. You haven't done this double pull-off thing, and that's essentially what's happening. So you'd want to work with, because you want to be pulling off. So if the note you're pulling off to sounds pretty much just as loud as the note you started with up here. All right, and it happens 3 times. And I do a down, up motion on my picking hand. And then there's a hammer on, and then back down to this note here, which is actually part of an E chord. It's 3 times. And again. And then you hear that little solo part comes in there. Hey, thanks a lot for watching. I hope this helped you learn a very iconic riff from the Eagles. I enjoy playing it a lot. I hope you do too. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and click that little bell for notifications. I always got more stuff coming up, and I've also got plenty of other things that are on this channel, so be sure to check them out. Thanks a lot for watching, and rock on.